Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome John Natoro, Executive Director of Catholic Foundation for Brooklyn and Queens, who will lead a panel discussion on the impact of donations and why people support Catholic education.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here tonight to celebrate Catholic education. In my role at Futures in Education, I have the honor of overseeing our many fundraising efforts and our programs, all to provide financial assistance to families who choose Catholic education for their children. And we have a lot of cause to celebrate, as you'll see when we speak to our panel, and some exciting news to share. Tom mentioned in his opening remarks the Futures in Education dinner that we had last night. At our annual scholarship dinner last night, with over 700 people packed into Cipriani Wall Street, we raised $2.4 million for scholarships for Catholic education. So the enthusiasm, the willingness to invest, the future of Catholic education is still strong and is still alive and well. And the impact of Catholic education has a far reach. Families, teachers, school administration, and at Futures also our loyal donors, and most importantly to our students. Each year through our programs, we give out over 4,500 scholarships, $7.2 million in this current year. But the true impact really is seen one student, one donor, one family at a time. Joining me this evening for a panel discussion are some key stakeholders to Catholic education who benefit from Futures in Education. But they are not only impacted by Catholic education, they are a part of it. They're part of continuing the long storied tradition that we all know and love. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our panelist, Jean Borgella. He's a parent of a student at St. Jochen and Anne Catholic Academy. Christina Rivera, parent of a student at St. Sebastian Catholic Academy. And Schmeidelin Ulysses, 8th grade student at St. Jochen and Anne, who did an amazing job right before we started with the choir. Unfortunately, our fourth panelist, one of our donors, is not able to join us this evening. But I do speak on her behalf when I say that what motivates all of our donors is knowing the story behind their gifts. They believe in Catholic education, and they enjoy seeing the real-life examples of how their gift impacts and changes lives. So I'm going to take a little walk over and join our panel. So John, I'll start with you. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Good evening, everybody.
Do you mind to start? Just tell us a little bit about your family.
Okay, my name is Jean Borgella. I am married. I have two girls who attend St. Joachim and Anne, and it's Chrisella, she's 6, she's in the 1st grade, and Adora, who's 8, and she is in the 3rd grade. Myself, I'm an educator. I teach in the New York City Public Schools, and I have chosen to have my children obtain a Catholic education because a Catholic education, I would say, is a tradition in my family. My father himself went to Catholic school himself, but we are originally from Haiti, so myself, from kindergarten or throughout primary and secondary school, I have been in Catholic school myself, so it is a staple in my family. And when we moved to the United States about 20 years ago, I had younger sisters who attended St. Joachim and Anne. So it's something that's very strong in our family. We believe that Catholic school prepare our children for the future, not just with a strong and rigorous academic, but also with, I would say, with the morals that's so scarce today in our society.
Okay, awesome tradition. And if you don't mind, just share a little bit. You've had a little bit of a rough road in recent times. Would you mind to just share just a couple of thoughts about what it's been like and, you know, how you've overcome it and you know, how your faith has helped you to overcome it?
About 2 years ago, around this time, I had fallen sick, so sick that I had to be hospitalized. And I ended up staying at the hospital for a long time. And during that time, I was not able to see my children. And so they're 6 and 8 now, so they were 4 and 6 back then. And as I was in the hospital, I struggled with, I missed them. And what was more worrisome was the fact that they started struggling at their school, and because my absence was starting to affect them. And I remember my oldest one, her first grade teacher was telling me how she was not able to focus as much, and me not being around. And what I learned from that experience is, with the time I spent in the hospital and the recovery time that was also long, and when I was finally able to get out, I would say I valued more, being around them and being more involved in their education. I stay on top of them, and I make sure that I'm aware of what they're doing, how it's going in school. So I would say that's what I got from that experience.
Awesome. So Tina, I'm going to turn it over to you now, if you don't mind. Just start maybe, same as Sean, and tell us a little bit about your family.
Sure. So I work in finance. My husband is pursuing a career as a professional athlete, and our daughter is in 6th grade at St. Sebastian Catholic Academy. She has been an Angel Award recipient for the past 2 years.
Okay, awesome. And looking at your story, we know that you tried to stay very involved in your academy as much as you can. And can you just share what that experience has been like, both for you and for your daughter, as you try to keep yourself involved, what it's meant to be a part of the community?
Sure. So I'm a proud graduate of St. Sebastian. So for me, the experience has been great, both as a student and also as now a parent. My daughter, I think she's thriving. She's doing well. She loves it there. She has developed friendships that will last a lifetime. She's been continually challenged academically, and also she's growing spiritually. So it's great.
Awesome. And one question I'd like to ask, it's something that we frequently get into when we're having conversations with parents. Parents have a choice, and there's a choice of public school or charter, et cetera. What is it that makes a difference for you, and where you choose to sacrifice for making the choice of Catholic education?
Well, I'm a product of a Catholic education. Like I said, I attended St. Sebastian. I graduated from Mary Louis Academy, and then I went on to Fordham University. So all throughout my academic career, I've been in a Catholic environment. So I think it's important as parents. We really want to give everything we can for our children to succeed. And also, as members of society, equally important that we raise people who are fundamentally good. So that means they have high moral standards, and I think a Catholic education at an elementary level absolutely provides the building blocks for that to happen.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And Shridalin, I'm going to turn it over to you. First off, congratulations on making it to 8th grade. Exciting time. Yeah, I'm sure it's filled with a lot of excitement and nervousness right now. Yeah. And you had 2 sisters who also went to St. Joachim and Anne. So what's awesome about everyone on our panel tonight is kind of continuing a family tradition. So that's great. So if you don't mind, just tell us just a little bit about your own story. And I know you've had some struggles that you've had to also deal with, and just share a couple of words about it.
So when I was a little kid, I used to visit St. Joachim and Anne a lot to pick up my 2 sisters, Brittany and Abigail, who are now 21 and 22. My first sister, Brittany, who went to Mary Louis Academy and is studying to be in the medical field, and my second sister, Abigail, who is studying to be in business. And during that time, my mother and father separated, and which left most of the bills to my mom to pay. And this left a lot of stress to her, which got her very sick, and it made her have numerous procedures, including knee and back. And it caused a lot of stress to us as well, because we wouldn't want to see our mother suffer like that, having our father leave and, her just feeling as if she's alone and she had nobody to rely on. And me and my sisters, when she went to Haiti to live with her cousin, we had to live with ourselves, not only to take care of her, but to take care of ourselves as well. And this was very hard for us.
How do you feel, you're part of this great community at St. Joachim and Anne. Do you feel like you had a good support structure there to help you get through the tough times?
Yeah, every day when I came to school, everybody made sure that I was okay, that I had a shoulder to rely on, that they knew that I knew that God would always be there by my side to guide me through the tough times, and to always know that even if things are like this way, it will get better soon.
Great. So now an exciting question. So it's 8th grade, you're getting ready to graduate. What are you thinking about? What are your plans for high school and even beyond high school? And when you think about your time at St. Joachim and Anne, how do you feel it's prepared you? What have you learned that's going to help you as you kind of get ready to make that next step?
Well, I'm thinking about going to St. Agnes because it has a medical program, and I want to be a nurse. And I love the great environment that it has there, and like the warm welcome, kind of shoulders you and comforts you. I also, since it's an all-girls school, I could focus more on my education.
Good answer.
Yeah. And SSJA prepared me, with science and math to know what to do in those type of situations with nursing, and to, like I said before, guide me into God's path, to show me the way,
Awesome. Thank you. Well, thank all three of you. This is amazing. And what we wanted to do tonight is really just share with everybody, real life stories of what the impact of a Catholic education really means. And for our donors, the stories that you've heard here tonight is what makes them feel that this is an investment worth making. And it's what keeps them coming back over and over again. And I just want to thank all of you for being your willing participants tonight and sharing some of your very personal stories with us. This is amazing, so thank you so much. So before I break, I do have the honor of introducing our next speaker, who will also be leading the panel, my good friend and colleague, Joan McMaster, and I will let her take it away. Thank you all.